Hello and welcome to this week's weekly psychic forecast video for week commencing the 11th of July 2022. How the cow spirit are you? It's a little tarot joke there. If you get it, please let me know in the comments. So we've got the overview for the week here laid out in front of us. Next we will go day by day with a spiritual guidance message at the end. And I've been told by my guides that this is a very spiritual week, so it's going to be a very, very interesting reading, I think. So let's dive on in. So, beginning with the overview for the week, I've got the cards laid out here. Number 15, Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. Number 20, Know Your Fears. And 7, Nothing has gone wrong. Now, this is very interesting because this was one of our spiritual guidance cards last week. Nothing has gone wrong. And the reminder, I think it was last week, and the reminder that everything's in balance, as it very much is. And there's a real feeling of balancing the light and shadow here with all of these cards, which is very, very interesting to me. And I can see there's a need to balance the masculine and feminine, but it's very much the feminine coming through at the moment. But it's, for me this week, I think there's a message to balance the unbalanced feminine. It's about balancing the feminine aspect, the feminine energy this week. When the feminine's out of balance, the feminine can undermine the masculine, which isn't helpful, and can also refuse to work with the masculine, can martyr itself. And I feel that's one of the biggest shifts that we need to work on this week, is actually balancing that feminine energy. So if you're a healer, if you're a helper, don't martyr yourself. What does self-care look like for you? You know, and a reminder that there really is enough in the world, because the cow spirit card is so abundant and so giving and so generous, and the beautiful cow spirit reminds us, you know, just how loved we are, and that we have so many different choices in this lifetime as well, that we don't have to live in fear, and we certainly don't have to live within specific systems if they don't work for us anymore. And I think, again, a lot of people are going to be feeling how restrictive the old systems are, wanting to literally throw them out of the window and start afresh. So it is going to be very interesting, particularly in the political landscape. I feel very, very interesting. Some people will be feeling, well, it's better the devil you know, but others will literally, many of us, particularly on our spiritual journey, will feel like, no, we do want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and have something completely new and fresh and different. So there is also, this is an interesting one. This could be a tricky week where the ego tries to jump in when we do try to employ changes, when we do try to make those positive changes for ourselves. So beware of naysayers, beware of your own mind being a naysayer, being a negative Nelly, being very unhelpful, you know, making unhelpful comments when you have a good new idea that you want to try or implement, or a new plan, or just, you know, generally anything out of the ordinary. The ego, its job is to maintain the status quo. So I do think it's going to be throwing up some unfounded fears, and I think it's necessary for us to know exactly where that comes from within ourselves so that we can overcome those fears. It's helpful to know where a fear comes from to overcome it. That's not the whole picture, obviously, but it is a very, very interesting energy this week. Balance is very much going to be the name of the game, and it is going to be a week of, I want to say, a certain amount of trials for those walking their spiritual path consciously. At the moment, there will be some tests, but I think they're going to be interesting ones, maybe some synchronicities, maybe some things we're not expected on that very mystical number 7 here. We've got the feminine 20, and then we've got 15-6 here as well. So it all comes down to the heart. It all comes down to us making our decisions for ourselves. But I do think it's going to be a very, very interesting and mystical week for a lot of people. So pay attention to synchronicities and to things happening around you. And don't be surprised if there is a spiritual lesson or a spiritual test for you. So let's move on to Monday's cards now. Okay, Monday we have number 24, the Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. We have number 46, Time to Reflect. And number 45, Let Your Light Shine. This is very interesting. There's a lot of 4s there again. Okay, I rather like Monday, but it feels like quite a sedate day. So if you've had a very busy weekend, it may be catching up with you on Monday. It feels like quite a tired day. The energy feels like, I could really use a lie down. So it may be that you know, you literally need to take a rest on Monday, or it may just be time to, like this card suggests, time to reflect on life and see where it's taking you. You know, is everything how you want it to be? Are you being your genuine self? And, you know, with the card, let your light shine. Are you shining your light? Are you being the full you? Are you, you know, walking your talk with the electric eel on that 24/6? And 24/6 is a powerful number. It suggests that on Monday there is an opportunity to walk your talk if you were not previously doing it, or to begin something, bring a project to life. It doesn't feel like it would be anything too big, or it might be a very small start or a very slow start or just a beginning, because the energy is so sedate and so tired on Monday. So I want to say it would be a gentle new beginning, but I think the universe is really going to be holding us to account. You know, those of us who talk our talk, we need to walk the walk as well. So there's very much a message for the light workers or integration workers, healers, psychics, mediums, starseeds, empaths. You guys, you know who you are. You know, Monday, I think we may literally have the mirror held up in front of us and be told, it's great, you know, that you tell everybody else to meditate, to heal, to have Reiki sessions, to get a massage, to rest, to have their spiritual practice. But what are you actually doing for you? Because this is what it comes down to right now, particularly at this point in this lifetime. And this is what I keep talking about. We must heal ourselves. We must walk the walk, because if we don't take care of ourselves, how can that ripple out to the collective? As I always say, you know, when you heal yourself, you heal the collective. When you heal yourself, you heal the world. You must focus on that individual work first, and that's what will help the other people. So it is very, very important. Or there may be, you may be inspired to actually get a message out to the world today as well. I feel if you have like a YouTube channel or on your social media or something, some of you may be really inspired with some wonderful words today. So remember to let them out. Don't hide your light. That doesn't do anyone any good when you do that. It just diminishes you as a person. And I think a lot of people don't realise how much others miss out when they don't speak their truth. You know, it could be a spiritual truth, it could be some wisdom, some thoughts that have come to you. Feels like it's going to be something quite spiritual and less tangible, because it's just that kind of energy this week. But don't be afraid to speak your message. That's what I want to say. Speak your message. And that again is going to help you to feel more in balance on Monday. So let's move on to Tuesday now. Tuesday's cards. We have number 67, the Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. We have number 13, follow the moon. And we have number 13, insight. Now, I didn't do that on purpose. That's how they came out. I love it when they do this. Okay, and I shuffled these decks of cards so thoroughly. If you've ever seen me work in person, you'll know how thoroughly I shuffle decks. This cannot happen, you know, because I've been negligent, haven't shuffled properly. These are 3 different decks. I shuffled them so well. And yet we have 1313. Very, very intuitive feminine moon energy coming through here, but also talking about great change and transformation. So it's a very mysterious transformation that's going on. This could be a day for Kundalini rising, so a day for spiritual enlightenment or spiritual advancement, spiritual experiences. It could be that you meet a new spirit guide, you have an angel encounter, something, you know, a spirit guide. You know, you could be out in nature and have a wonderful moment with an animal. And that can be very, very spiritual, very powerful. And it does feel like there's a connection with the wild here, with the wild spirit, because we do have this beautiful wolf card there, bringing the wisdom of nature, the wisdom of the wild. And it's reminding us, all of these cards remind us to get back in touch with ourselves, with our true self. Get back in touch with your instincts. Get back in touch with the wild you, the natural part of you. Remember that you are supposed to be here on this planet. You're not here by accident. You're not here by some quirk of chance. You know, you're not supposed to be here, as some people seem to think that, oh, we're not meant to be here, or we don't belong, we're not part of nature, we're not part of the ecosystem. I beg to differ. We don't live exactly like we are at the moment, but that's because we live in a lunatic asylum. That's basically what our culture is right now for most of us. But it doesn't have to be that way, because we are part of nature, and there's a very strong pull on Tuesday to get back into contact with our intuition, with that intuitive, wild, beautiful, powerful side of our nature. So it's a beautiful day for going outside. It's a beautiful day for connecting with moon and the moon spirit, and also with animal spirits. Great day to communicate with your spirit guide, or to just do some meditation. And also, don't forget about your body. Like I keep saying, ask your body what it wants right now. Very often we externalize all this stuff, don't we? When we're doing spiritual work, when we're doing our spiritual development, it's like, oh, I need to ask my angels. I need to ask my spirit guides what they want me to do, what they think I should do. What about your body? Your body has its own wisdom too, and it may have a lot of things to say to you. And this is something that I found out to my detriment, actually, when I was doing a lot of spiritual study and practice in 2006. I was going through a period of huge change and huge amounts of learning and development with my mediumship, with my psychic ability. And what I found was, without meaning to, I started neglecting my body. I wasn't eating. Well, I wasn't eating enough. I was barely eating at all, and people started to notice, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And we can find, on the spiritual path that we start to neglect the body just because we forget to eat, we forget to do the things that we need to do, because when you are working with that spiritual energy, it feels so wonderful and it sustains you to a point, and then suddenly you realise, wow, I haven't eaten all day and it's 5 o'clock and I should probably have something, So there is that reminder as well, because animals know to take care of the body. They know to eat, they know to drink water, they know where to drink water from, they know to rest. Like my cat at the moment is having a lovely rest in his bed downstairs. They know how to listen to the body and do what it needs. And there is that call here very, very strongly today to do that. And interestingly as well, 67, that is also a 13. So 6 plus 7, 13. So we've got 13, 13, 13. Very, very powerful numbers there. So this is potentially a hugely transformational day, very much on an individual level, but that may also play out, on a community, on a national level, or potentially on an international level as well. So that's going to be fascinating to see. Do please leave me a comment after Tuesday or on Tuesday. Let me know what happened for you, because I can't wait to hear from you guys. So let's move on to Wednesday now. Wednesday's cards, we have number 20, the Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. We have number 37, Seek Your Destiny. I like that one because there's a cat on it. I'm easily pleased. Right, and number 8, Meditation. Okay. Seek your destiny through meditation. More than one thing can be true at a time. Wow. Yeah, that's basically this existence in a nutshell. What I find interesting is that Chrissy on her Zeta Refuki channel actually pulled this card for last week. She pulled it a couple of days ago. And I find that interesting that it's coming out again, because I've never pulled this card before. I didn't even realise we were working with the same deck. I hadn't actually clocked that because I'm obviously really observant. But it's very interesting because it's reminding us that, two things can be true at the same time. It doesn't just have to be one truth. We can have, two seemingly different things can be true at the same time. And I think that's one of the dichotomies of this lifetime, is that, yes, we are very solid spirit, beings. We are these seemingly very solid beings having very, very human experiences, but we are also these amazing spiritual beings at the same time, who have all kinds of connection and ability and potential. And I think we can very much forget that. And again, it's that feminine 20, number 20. We had that right at the beginning, I think, with my overview cards. I think we had number 20. Yes, we did. Again, it's that reminder to connect with the intuitive self, to know that, yes, you can be an intuitive being and you can also be a lumberjack. You can be a very sensitive psychic medium and you can also be a builder. I know one. The two are not mutually exclusive by any stretch of the imagination. So I think it's an interesting day where we're being nudged in a new direction, after the possible revelations or experiences on Tuesday. And there's a very strong message here to connect with our higher self, seek more, look at the skies, seek more from your spirit guides, seek more from within, this beautiful tree. And it looks a bit like this opening in the tree with the eye. it looks very, very much like how you might do a shamanic journey, you know, when you journey into a tree, into the underworld. That can be very, very powerful. Be a wonderful day to do that, to be honest. So on that very transformational 3710. So this is about transforming your destiny, but you don't have to change everything. And I think that's the strong reminder here. Yes, you can be a wonderful medium who brings through fantastic messages for people from loved ones who's passed over, but you can also be a gardener. You know, that you can be more than one thing. And I think that's one of the biggest changes of the energy of the new age of Aquarius that's coming in now. Whereas in the age of Pisces, you were one thing. You were an accountant. You were a butler. You were, you know, a farm worker. You were a prince. Whatever it was, that was like the thing that you were. And that was it. And in a way, it was very limiting and very straight-laced, but it was also quite comforting, I suppose, but very frustrating for those of us with sort of a more eager spirit, shall we say, that wants to do more things and experience more things. That kind of older energy used to be very, very frustrating. You know, that there are those of us who want to try lots of things, experience lots of things, you know, leap over the lotus with all of these magical lights coming up and experience all of them. Why not? There's definitely a pull here to expand your horizons, expand your experiences as well. And that doesn't have to be a physical horizon. It can be an internal horizon, you know, a spiritual horizon. And of course, we can do that through meditation. Meditation's extremely important for some people at the moment. I've actually found myself meditating less. And let me know if you meditate on a regular basis or not. I'm not judging either way. You don't have to. But something that I have found personally, just sort of recently in like the last year, I guess, maybe a year or two, is that my meditations have become extremely powerful. The images and messages that I get are so much clearer than they used to be. And where my clairvoyant ability has increased, I'm seeing things with my physical eyes rather than in my mind, in my imagination. They're literally appearing in front of my physical eyes, which is a very, very big change for me. And that has been very interesting indeed for me. Please let me know, you know, if any changes have happened in your meditation, in your spiritual practice, because it's always fascinating to hear how we are all evolving together, because we evolve as a species. We don't just evolve on our own. You know, no man is an island, and energetically we're all connected, so beautifully and powerfully connected. So interesting day. There may be a pull to do some sort of course of spiritual work or spiritual study here again, but there's definitely a call to the wild, I would say. There is a call to the spiritual side of life, but it doesn't mean that you have to leave the physical, practical stuff behind, because you still have to eat and pay rent or make payments on your home. So let's take a look at Thursday now. Our Thursday cards, we have number 23, the Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. Nice. Number 7, do not fear the unknown. I like very similar theme here with like sort of like little bells and feathers and this beautiful sort of reddish brown colour here. Really feeling the same vibe from these cards here. Yes. And then 32, the Divine Masculine. Well, there it is. Very, very grounded. I actually want to bring in the stone jasper at this point, which is something I've actually been inspired to wear. I have this, let me just show you. This is not jasper. This is jasper, these red pieces here. This is a bracelet that I actually won in a competition. Somebody was promoting a new crystal store on Instagram, and I was lucky enough to win like a whole bunch of different crystals, and it was a whole box of things that I won, which was absolutely wonderful. But this lovely bracelet here, I've never really worn it, and that's the thing, I've never worn it up until now, and all of a sudden I saw it in a drawer and thought I need to wear that. So I'm wearing that with my shungite, which I also wear. Again, very protecting, very grounding, but I'm really feeling that I have to wear these at the moment. Grounding, very, very important theme for me right now, and it may be for you as well. And just before I did this reading, I actually pulled the grounding card and I had to laugh out loud. Because, okay guys, yeah, I get it. Helen needs to ground. So there is quite a grounded feeling on Thursday, and we're coming in on the energy of the divine masculine, which does tend to be a little bit more practical, a little bit more in the here and now. So it is a good day for grounding. Okay, so it can be literally going outside, walking on grass or something natural with your bare feet, not on tarmac, nothing man-made. Make it something natural, even if it's just, you know, wooden decking, if that's the best you can do, or the beach. That's wonderful. And go outside, walk on Mother Earth, and that's ironically, you know, how you're going to ground in this masculine energy. So it's an interesting day, very interesting day, because we've got this 23-5 here now. 23 is one of my numbers, 23-5. It's a very sensitive 5, but 5 is a very cranial number. It's a number of the mind of the scientist. It's a number of the inquiring mind, you know, the academic, the person who does research, for example. But it's also a number of adventure. I want to say a number of adventure, but it's a very, very sensitive one. So it's connecting very deeply with very spiritual aspects of the divine masculine here. And it's nice that we've got this symmetry here, this beautiful mirror image of 23 with 32. That's rather lovely. So it feels as though the masculine energy will have more of a soft edge today. So yes, we're working with the masculine energy. We've been working with the feminine up until now, and today it feels like we need to work on the masculine to bring the two finally into balance. So again, there may be a pull to have spiritual experiences today. You may be going to a meditation class, or, you know, doing some sort of study, or just doing study on your own, which is, you know, absolutely fine as well. Very, very mystical feeling on that mystical 7. I'm not sure that we would necessarily get very much work done this week, to be honest with you. It doesn't feel like you will get a lot of work done this week, with the best will in the world. If you are working, be gentle with yourself this week. Thursday may be more productive than some of the other days. I feel Monday to Wednesday will be less productive than Thursday, because we have got that masculine energy very gently backing us up. And I do want to say, this is not a day to go back on your new plans. There may be a temptation to do that, and say, oh no, it's too difficult, I can't put that into practice. The things I came up with yesterday, I can't do. It's too hard, it's too different, it's too difficult. Really, really not the case, but it is time to welcome the masculine in. So it may be an interesting day, you know, on Twitter. There may be something to do with men or masculinity that comes up today, because it feels like the masculine energy is stepping forward, but very gently. The energy is stepping forward in a very gentle but firm way to say, I am here, you cannot reject me because I exist, you know, and the feminine needs the masculine to be balanced. The two have to work together, or it all goes to shit, like this flame here, all goes up in flames. So, very, very beautiful cosmic card, this one. I love this. There may also be some... The Orions, yeah. I feel there may be some messages for those of you who are star seeds, or who communicate with off-world beings. I feel there could be some messages coming through from the Orions specifically today, which could be to do with money and abundance, but also finding new ways of working with currency. So I want to talk about cryptocurrency and new currencies, and new bartering systems, or new exchange systems that could be coming online today. That subject, I feel that could be coming up quite a lot. So let's move on to Friday. So Friday's cards, we have number 50, the Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. That's got a real Ganesh feel to it, that one. 33, respect your boundaries. And 35, light beings. Now that is interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, so Friday again feels like a very, very important one for the ascension of humankind. It does feel again like communication would be coming through from higher realms, you know, what we might call off-world, and my cat thinks so as well. I don't know if you just heard him meowing outside my door. He may try to open it in a minute. I apologise if you hear banging. Yeah, it's a powerful day of messages coming from the stars. It may be a good day to actually work with astrology as well on that day, but there's a real feeling about raising the consciousness, raising the vibration of humanity, and remembering that when we all work together we can do it. And on this number 50, it feels like we're kind of halfway through. We're halfway through this journey now, and we are getting there, because the Rhino will keep going no matter what. And I feel a very strong connection with Lord Ganesh here as well. I've been working very much with Ganesh's energy recently. I recently acquired this piece, which I absolutely love. Very gentle energy, but so powerful to, you know, these larger sort of animals. Obviously he's a god, but the representation of the large creature that can push through any obstacle that's so much stronger, but comes through with so much love as well. You know, we are all pushing together at the moment, and I think this is true for all of humanity. It feels very much like we're really starting to pull together now, really starting to push through together, learning, remembering that when we work together, when we work as a group, we are so much stronger, that our boundaries cannot be violated by those who would wish to take advantage of us when we stand together. Such a powerful lesson to come through today. And I think it'll be very, very interesting. I get the words governments capitulating today, so it may be that governments are having to give in to demands of protesters, of petitions, of people who are just refusing to do as they're told, you know, because why the heck should you do as you're told by mummy, daddy, government? You're not a child. You know, you're an adult, you're not just an adult, you're a sovereign being and a spiritual being, damn it. And you're here to raise the vibration of the whole damn planet. So why should you have to, you know, follow some ridiculous rule that doesn't actually help anyone or mean anything? So, yeah, there's kind of I do like the number 50. It's such a very solid and strong number. And again, it's the kind of very masculine mind, the cranial mind, but it also comes with all of this experience, because it feels like starting anew. So it feels like people changing their minds, literally, I want to say, on this number 50 today. Literally people changing their minds and realising, hey, we don't have to do this. We don't have to follow those rules. We don't have to let these people say that they're in charge. We don't have to do those stupid things that they're trying to force us to do. We don't have to do that. We can make our own decisions. We can push through and we can find better solutions together, coming from all these loving roses, and whatever other flowers are. But you know, they're very beautiful pink loving roses, these gorgeous little lovely little wings that this beautiful, beautiful rhino has. So it's a loving energy. It's not pushing through in violence, although there could be some violence, because, you know, the rhino is quite well equipped if he has to fight. If he has to, he doesn't particularly want to, but he can if he has to. And if he charges, nothing's going to stand in his way. And I think that's very much the energy for today. 33 is, of course, the Christ consciousness, 33-6. So it is very much about the spiritual destiny of the whole planet right now. And it feels very much like off-world peoples or beings, you know, from different planets, different dimensions, very much going to be watching and observing what's happening today. They're going to be watching with great interest. So if you're quite sensitive, you might be aware of them. There may be more UFO sightings today, for example. It's going to be a very, very interesting day. Or NASA might suddenly release some information that we weren't expecting them to. Yeah, so I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting day. So again, with these spirals, I just want to mention the spirals quickly before I move on. So for me, these spirals, they're just reminding me of the symbol of the labyrinth. Now, I'm not talking about the kids' film, that freaked me out. But the labyrinth is actually a spiritual journey. It's not somewhere where you get lost because it's a straight path. There are no blind alleys. You know, there are no wrong turns on the labyrinth. The labyrinth will lead you into yourself and out into adventure. And I think this is part of our spiritual path right now. I feel there's a call to adventure, I want to say here. There's a call to doing things differently, to standing up for ourselves and actually working together. So very, very interesting day. Big, big, big energy. Big stuff I feel is going to be happening around the world. So, okay. Our cards for Saturday then. We have number 42, the Otter Spirit, coming out again. We have number 1, a new day dawns. Wow, what did we do on Friday? And we have 44, expansion. Interesting. Okay, very, very interesting. All right. Okay, so this is very much the theme this week, isn't it? It's you are never alone. Spirit is always here with you. You know, we are powerful spiritual beings and we're all here with each other. How can you possibly say that you're alone? There's like 8 billion of us on the planet right now. Of course you're not alone. I'm not even alone right now because there's a Bengal cat outside my door trying to get in. He's probably just stalking me out there. He'll lie on the landing until I step out there and trip over him. But you're literally never alone. And it's a beautiful number 42, which is quite a sensitive number for me. And it's the sensitivity, and it's bringing that sensitivity, that intuition to the physical world. That's the message that I'm getting here, bringing that those messages, that intuition, that incredible spiritual aspect of self into the physical world now, and literally starting to see what the new world will look like, but the new world that we will build for ourselves, not the prison world that's being built for us, the good world. We've had so much going on in the ether right now. We've had timeline shifts. We've had so much going on. It's been very, very complicated, but it feels almost like a fresh start today in many ways, and I'm actually getting a strange headache as I'm saying that, so there's something going on in the energy there. It's our human Merkaba, which is actually expanding, so again, it could be another day for Kundalini rising. It could be a day for Merkaba activations would be very, very helpful today. But it's bringing things into the here and now with all of these fours, very practical, very grounded, here and now fours. It's very, very powerful energy. 44 is you can't miss it. It just slapped you in the face with a wet kipper. You know, it's you can't miss what's going on. You can't deny what's actually happening. And I think for a lot of people, it may be their first spiritual experience, or maybe the first time they've had to admit that they have an intuition or a spiritual side. It's going to be very, very interesting, I think, and a very challenging day for a lot of people. Fours can be very challenging. 4 is one of my numbers, can you tell? But 4s can be very challenging to have to deal with, because they make you face the truth, they make you face the facts, they make you deal with things, and it can be very, very hard work. So again, there's awakenings happening. I love this fire energy here. It's this new potential, this new powerful fire, but remembering that we go together. We go together. Yes, we walk our own path. We work our own energy body, we work our own Merkaba, but we go together. And I think that's one of the most important lessons that we can take from this week. Whilst meditation very often is a solo practice, we can do it as a group. And then it's so much more powerful when we do that. If you haven't meditated as a group, I fully recommend it. It's fantastic. I am actually going to be starting up my own online meditation group again. So do get in touch if you're interested in that. I'll probably connect that to the Patreon group, because we will be doing meditations in there. So if you're not already a Patreon supporter, you can check out the link below. But it's going to be a very, very interesting day, Saturday. It will be a case that certain things can no longer be denied. Certain truths can no longer be denied. The energy is getting more and more real. It's like we've kind of gone beyond on that number 50 card, the rhino spirits, like we've gone beyond halfway now. We've gone beyond halfway, and we can no longer deny what's happening. Even the people who don't want to hear it, who don't want to know what's really happening in the world, they will have to see it, at least to an extent, which will be a beginning. Or for some of us, it could be real revelations happening, some really, really big ones, or on a very personal but beautiful and spiritual level. So it is good news. New beginnings can be hard, as number 4 reminds us, but we are not alone, because we are all here together. Okay, so let's just take a look at Sunday. Now, Sunday's cards, we have number 64, the Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. Yes, it does. Number 22, let go of the old. And if I can fit it on, we have number 4, authentic truth. Yep. It's that number 4 energy again. Okay. So 22, 4, 4, and then 64. So we have a 4 there as well. That is a 6410, of course, so it brings in some transformation. And there is a reminder here, very much letting go of the old, transformational 10, living our authentic truth. It's that, yeah, change can be painful. And I think that's the message for Sunday. Change can be painful, change can be difficult. But a wasp sting isn't going to kill you unless you're actually allergic to them. I apologise if you are. I didn't mean to be insensitive, but you know, it's representative of a small amount of pain that we can actually live with, we can actually get through, you know. That's where I want to go with that, not specifically insects stinging us, but, you know, yes, there may be some pain to get through this, but most of us are going to get through it without any problem at all. It is very much time to let go of who we used to be. And coming in with a very, very feminine 22, Feet of the Goddess, 22-4, it's about bringing spirit into reality now. And again, it's continuing on this theme of living your authentic truth. So it may be a day where you start a new job or you start a new way of doing your life, you know, whether it's working from home, having flexi working, doing fewer hours, becoming self-sufficient or working towards becoming self-sufficient, something I'd love to do, but have you seen the size of my garden? It's ridiculously small. Shut up, Helen. But yeah, it's a very powerful day. We're changing from the old green into the new gold. We're moving towards the golden era, which is something we are literally moving forward to at the moment. We are moving towards a golden age, a new golden age. And the more time goes on, the nearer we get to the new golden age, you know, day by day, second by second. It's still a long way off, but we will start to really feel the energy, feel the changes. And yes, some of the changes that we will need to make may be a little bit uncomfortable. I want to say it's not so much about pain as discomfort. And a lot of people are quite discomfort averse, which is why they don't take risks, why they don't make changes that could help them, because they don't want the discomfort or inconvenience of having to do it. And I think some people may be forced to actually reconsider that this Sunday. And maybe look at their lives going, yeah, I really didn't want to have to do that. I guess I'm going to have to do that thing, you know. It's going to be a very, very interesting day. I do feel as well, I'm being told there's a portal opening up on Sunday. So there may be some very interesting messages coming through. Again, I want to say from off-world. That's been quite a strong theme this week. I want to say from off-world. And I want to talk very much about the triangle here. There's a connection with the triangle and the number 3. So look out for triangles appearing on your path on Sunday. That's going to be very interesting. Very transformational day. We are evolving into the beautiful, expanded golden beings that we're supposed to be, but it's not going to be without discomfort or inconvenience. Okay, so last of all, we are going to go to our spiritual guidance cards for the week. So just to remind you, if you need a message at any point throughout the week, you can go to my website, angelwingsholistics.com, and you can actually use the Angel Wings Oracle, which is the card deck that I created for myself. It's not this deck. I haven't had it printed yet. I will soon, promise. And you can pick a card at any time of the day or night and get yourself a message as many times as you want. So, and thank you, I keep meaning to say, I keep forgetting. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated to me, because there is a donation button on that page, just a free will donation. So thank you so much. It makes so much of a difference to me, and you have no idea how much that means to me. Right, so our spiritual guidance for the week. So this is a completely different deck to the one I normally show you. You've never seen me get this one out before. This is Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrach Rose. I hope I said that right. Very, very beautiful deck. I love working with this one. I don't normally do it with clients because it is quite sort of a heavy spiritual deck. You don't always get the most straight answers from it. But it's absolutely beautiful for spiritual guidance, very powerful. And I bought this deck, well, it was bought for me in Avebury, so it's got that energy attached to it as well, which is why I love it so much. But when I got these cards out earlier, when I pulled them, I actually pulled them first before I pulled any of the other cards. And I had to take a moment. I had to take a moment and breathe and go, okay, because the message was just so big. The energy was just so big that came from these cards. It was so powerful. I kind of teared up a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful message for this week, for this week's spiritual message. It is very much the masculine and feminine coming together now to end war, to end suffering, you know, to literally move us into the next golden age, to move us into this new age. And what's very interesting as well is we have a horse on each card. Now, there are hardly any other cards in the pack that have a horse on them. Okay, there may be one or two. There's a deer on that one, some ducks, cat, deer again. You see, these are not cards that all have horses on them. It's just not. So to have two cards that both have horses on, very, very, very unusual. So I'm very drawn to some Celtic goddesses here. I want to go to OPPO, but I also want to go to some of the other Celtic goddesses. I can't remember the names, or I certainly can't pronounce them. But it's a very, very beautiful energy. We have the opportunity this week to really move ourselves forwards. And the horse energy is there with us as well. So horses, they are beasts of burden. They're very faithful. They will help to carry us. They're very strong. They will help us to push forwards when we can't keep going on our own. So it's a reminder that we're very much stronger together, but also that there is that support for us from the horse spirit animal here. And it's beautiful that we have the much more grounded red colour with the masculine and the beautiful etheric white here with the feminine. And it is very much about putting the sword down now and working for the right things. And this is actually Rosalind Chapel, I believe, in the background of this card. But truth conquers all is the message on this one. Be courageous, truth conquers all. And those words really hit me hard when I pulled this card, because yes, it is time to be strong, to be brave and speak your truth and be a warrior for the truth as well, because that's what really matters. That's what will make the difference in the world. And then with the feminine energy coming in here, and this is Matcha lifting the curse of war, which is a story. Lift the curse, forgive. It's very much about bringing forgiveness to the world, self-forgiveness, forgiving others for their mistakes. Yes, people make mistakes. This isn't the time to punish them for it. This is the time to work together, to come together so that we can make the world a better place. We can sort out the mistakes later. They don't really matter right now. And again, we've got this triangle with the eye symbol here in the circle. I'll just bring it closer. There we go. Very, very interesting symbolism here. Again, that triangle symbol I feel is going to be very powerful, very noticeable this week as well. But it is about the ending of wars in the world, and we have to remember that you can't end war until people agree to stop trying to fight each other. Okay, for as long as someone wants to attack somebody else, you're going to have war. And if you forgive, you're able to find forgiveness, compassion, empathy in your heart, then you won't need to attack them anymore. You will be able to heal whatever it is within yourself that's hurting. Maybe find other solutions, find better ways of doing things. But you won't feel the need to attack. And this is true for individuals on social media, it's particularly noticeable, but also for nations, attacking other nations for whatever grand reason that they have to do so. And a lot of the time it's not as warranted as we might be led to believe, but it is the end of war is coming, and this is what I'm told here. This is what we're working towards. One of the things we're working towards, it is the end of war. They won't be necessary anymore. It won't be necessary. They won't be needed. We won't be seeing it so much in the future. Not right now, but it's coming. But in order to achieve that, we must end the war within ourselves. We must end the war within, between the masculine and the feminine, between different aspects of self. You know, when we beat ourselves up, when we're cruel to ourselves, when we're unkind to ourselves, when we fail to take care of ourselves, when we beat ourselves up, when we have negative thought patterns that tell us we're stupid, we're wrong, we're worthless, we shouldn't have done that, oh, you're such an idiot. This is the war that we have to cease within first, so that we can see it on the outside. And that's really the great spiritual message for this week. And I can't stress how big this is. This is huge, and I would, suggest take a moment to actually gaze at these cards and see what they say to you as well. But end the war within, and surely, with absolute certainty, I can't get words out now, but we will see peace in the world. So thank you very, very much for watching this reading. Please do remember to like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any readings, and ring that bell. You can join me on Patreon. I would very much appreciate it if you're able to support the channel. That helps me so much. And I will see you all again soon. Have a wonderful week.